What do you think would happen if you traded your phone for a bunch of small things that each serve a distinct purpose, all of which are centered around one item, an iPod? But obviously this video isn't about an iPod. It's really about choice. A phone clearly makes everything available to us, and that means that there's millions of options of what to do. But see, the more options you have, the more opportunities you're gonna have to regret the choices you've made. I wanna set the tone that I don't think we should think of choices as inherently bad. In fact, 40% of our happiness comes from the choices we make every day. But as psychologist Barry Schwartz says, we need to think of choices like a fish in a fishbowl. See, the fish are perfectly content with the world around them, but
if you shatter the fishbowl so that everything is possible, you don't have freedom, you have paralysis.
As humans, it's easy to think that having all of our potential options for happiness right at our fingertips means that we're going to be fulfilled. But when a world of possibilities is always one other click away, do we really appreciate any choice we make? Say I decide I want to listen to music. Well, the very nature of a phone means I'm never just opening it and going on Spotify, because it's going to inundate me with thousands of things to do. Millions of micro choices I'm gonna have to make. Even when I click play on a song, I can see what other songs I could have listened to instead. And then because everything else is just one click away, it makes me think, damn, maybe I should check Instagram. Maybe I should go on Facebook. Maybe I should see what's happening on YouTube. Damn, did my stuff on Facebook Marketplace just sell? See, with everything else in one place, the purity of my one decision, the beauty of my one task is gone. But see, with an iPod, I'm forced into a limited number of choices. It's either play music or turn it off. This object only has one utility, so it makes the choice of listening to music a pure, deliberate task, because it's the only task I can do when it's in my hand. See, transferring any action from a phone to a physical, tangible object creates environmental friction. It's simple. A lack of choices means our desire to do something else, our desire to make other choices, and our desire to aspire to be doing something else that we think could bring us more happiness is gone. When I was a kid and I got my Nintendo DS, it only came with Mario Kart. And objectively, the level of dopamine I had when I was playing this made it literally the most fun I was having in my entire life. But then suddenly, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games came out. And when I go to play Mario Kart, my perception of the game is warped. Now that there is another option, will I have more fun choosing that instead? And as my game collection grew, so too does the weight of my choices. My expectation for the quality of each playing experience is exponentially larger because I can only play one game at once. And that game now must be better than the 4 other options not picked. For me at least, too many options leaves me paralyzed by indecision. With all of these options available, my expectation on how good any one of those options could be will go up. If I watch YouTube, well, maybe I'll have a better time on Netflix. Oh, but I could be scrolling on Instagram instead. Oh wait, but maybe I'll have even more fun if I listen to fucking Blackpink on Spotify. But see, on this iPod is simply 406 songs, downloaded onto it 16 years ago by my grandma. When each song comes up, I'm not overly disappointed that 405 songs weren't picked. I'm just happy that I'm listening to the same song on the same device that my grandma listened to. See, the truth is, these songs are the best songs because they're the only songs that I have. By reducing my choices to only a few, the quality of every single one of those choices is exponentially better. Let's say you have an idea for a great video and you want to write it down. So you open your phone, but immediately you see 10 notifications. You see the time, you see the charge of your phone, you see the Google Calendar events coming up. To me at least, when this happens, sure, I go quickly open my phone and write down the idea, but it becomes a fleeting memory because suddenly I just go do something else on my phone because the choice of doing all these potentially better, more important things is shoved down my throat. However, say you have the same idea and you open up your physical journal in front of you. You're forced to sit down, take out a pen, and feel the unique tactility of the soft texture of your journal in front of you, reminding you that this is a connection between you and your consciousness that no one else is privy to. To me at least, this strips any task down to its authentic self, and the only real distraction is my mind wandering. You should think of it like kind of forcing yourself into an impoverished imagination. Think of a prisoner with only one book. That's going to be the best book because it's the only book that they have. By limiting our choices, any possibility becomes the best possibility because it's the only option you have. Place an iPod in your hand, you're gonna enjoy that music. And you don't have to start with an iPod, you can start by checking the time on a physical watch, because when you look at the time on this rather than your phone, you're not immediately exposed to an oasis of choices. You're just gonna check the time and move on. Shakespeare says, "The fool thinks himself to be wise, while a wise man knows himself to be a fool." This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. The more intelligent you are, the more knowledgeable you are of how much there is that you just don't know. See, the more we accumulate, whether it's knowledge, games, apps, playlists, or choices, the more we become aware of what we're missing. See, more options certainly makes choosing anything harder, but with millions of options, one small click away, we kind of become just paralyzed, forced to live with this feeling that maybe we could have chosen something else. See, it's easy to think that having everything in one spot, the whole library of the world available to us, gives us more options, more choices, more freedom, and ultimately more happiness. But it's just an illusion. We're just caught in a system designed to decide for us. The simplicity of real, tangible objects like the iPod means I'm not at the grasp of trending songs, record label advertisements, notifications, or my burning desire to do any other of the thousands of distractions of a phone that stop me from doing exactly what I want to do at that point in time, which is literally just fucking listen to music. There's obviously a big trend towards minimalism, but I think that the importance of intentional choices is why we kind of need to maintain intentional maximalism, to have kind of a broad amount of distinctly unique objects that serve purely their intention. Because if everything is instantly accessible, then what value does it have? Each activity is stripped of idiosyncrasy, of importance, of separation between any other activity, and it just becomes another set of pixels on the same screen. Especially in 2025, where literally nothing has been more available to us in the history of the world than it is right now. You kind of just need to take a step back and just chill out a little and think to yourself that maybe happiness doesn't lie within a lot of choices, but with intentional ones.